Now we will see one more example for the multiple inheritance. So in this we have taken base class as the parent class, which is the derived from the object. Object is the root of all classes, right? So even though we don't mention this one, it is not a problem. It will by default will be base class will be the derived from the object class only. If we don't mention anything, we can mention also, there is no issues. Okay, so we have so many classes here which are derived from base. First, class A and class B are derived from base. Class C is derived from A, class D is derived from B. So simply, if we want to see what is the method resolution of this one, what we will do?
Give MRO function.
So MRO function will be there, or MRO attribute also will be there. So in this case, object. Any spelling mistake is there? See here, MRO is there, right? Output MRO has printed. What do you read from this?
First E, C, A, D, B, and base.
So first it will check in D itself, correct? First it will check in E itself because we have created E object, right? First it
Yes.
check in E object. Then if it is not there,
C.
then C. Then C is the superclass, so is derived from A, correct?
A.
So then it will check for A, okay? Then if A is also not there, then it check for D, okay? Then if D is not there, then it will check in B, okay? Then only it will check the base class, because base class is base for parent class for class B and class A both, correct?
Yes.
So once D is over, it will check B, then only it will go to base A in this example, okay? For the method resolution.
Understood.
So this is the method resolution built-in function. MRO or MRO attribute also we can use. MRO attribute will be there. Like this, we can use that one also on the object. So now coming to hierarchical inheritance. What is hierarchical?
More than one child.
And more than one child class derived from a single parent class. Till now we have not discussed about the private members, right? In this example, I will discuss about the private members like access specifiers. How we can mention private, public, right? We have discussed it, right? I will briefly tell you about how to define the private members. Can we access it or not using the hierarchical inheritance example? Okay. Save. Is the init method with the self parameter. Here you see id is the instance variable, right? My instance variable, right? Self.id,
Yes.
but id is prefixed with two double underscores. So that means this id instance variable is a private member of this class details. Okay, we cannot access it from outside the class. Understood? What is the use of the
Yes.
private member? That means it is protected by accessing from the outside. Okay, we have to access it from inside the class only. Okay, how to access we will show now. Name is also a private attribute. You have already discussed setters and getters, right? Setters and getters methods.
Yes.
Those setters and getters methods we will use to set these instance variables. Otherwise, we cannot directly set these values using unit method because it is like accessing those members from outside the class. So to do that, we use the getter and setter methods from within the class only. ID common variable. This is getter method. There is one more class employee which is derived from details class. Here also setters and getter methods we have to use to access the instant variables because they are private. Since there are two child classes, we should have one more class, right? Which is derived from details.
Yes.
So this is the third class which is derived from details. Which is a doctor. All are at same level, I hope. Otherwise, you'll get the error. ID, name, gender. ID is not one. Gender male. Then company. So this is the what type of inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance, right? In this we have details class is the parent class, and then employee and doctor class are the both are derived from the one parent class only. So it is a hierarchical inheritance, right?
Yes.
Here we have created first employee object. Since the members are private, we are only accessing through set employee method only. Here if you see set employee method, I cannot directly call the init method here because these are private members I cannot access from outside. So I am calling this set method, set employee method, and I am passing on my company and department data here, right? So I am setting the employee company and department attributes using the class
Company.
keyword. I can access the attributes from inside within the class, right? So I could able to access the department and company attributes from within the class. So in this way I am setting the similarly to get the details also. I cannot directly e dot department like that I cannot put because they are private. So I have to again call the getter method here to display me the instant variables details. See, this is the getter method. So again I have to use the getter method to get me the details. Okay, here I have created employee object and doctor objects. Any mistake is there?
I think class keyword is
Small, right?
C is capital.
Print. Why my variables are not updated here? Can you please check?
I can't see the complete program, so it's difficult for me to check. Can you email me the?
Okay, I will email. Okay, I have not put this one called this details, right? Data, that is a mistake. Understood? I have to call this details of a class. These three parameters should be set now. When I'm calling the employee object, I'm setting only these two, right? Company and department.
Yes.
But where I am updating the remaining parameters, ID, name and gender. I have to call
Set date.
superclass, right? But here I cannot use superclass because I am in instance method. I can call, but what I will do, set data. I'll call the function ID, comma name, comma gender. Okay. Here I will put ID, comma name, comma gender. So what will it will do when I call the set employee method? It will be calling this set data first. Okay. Then it will update
Okay.
ID, name and gender. Without this, it cannot update, right? It can only update company and department, but the superclass parameters it cannot update, right? So I have to call the set data method in the details class. This is the set data method in the details class, right?
Yes.
So it will update these three parameters for me. So in the similar way, here also I have to self dot set data method. I have to call the parameters ID, name, gender. Here also I have to pass on ID, name, gender. ID, name, gender, ID, name, gender. Set data, self dot set data. Now also output is not printed, huh? Employee object, company data. What is the mistake I'm doing here?
I thought that was the solution, so I didn't check further. I'll check now.
No, that is a solution. Now that is also a mistake only because other attributes are not accessed, right? It will call this method. Set employee means it will call this method and pass on these 5 arguments, and then get employee method I have called. Get employee method. Get employee method, I think also same mistake is there. Correct?
But my point is, how many times you are sending the same information to different classes? I don't see the point of inheriting now.
What information I have sent?
No, I mean, you're sending here name, gender, ID from set employee. Again, you're
No,
sending.
even yesterday also we have done like this only, right? With how it will know without that? If I am not passing the inheritance concept will be coming because see I am not setting data here. Okay, If I have to set data here, there is no point of my superclass. I am setting these 3 data in the superclass only, right? I am passing 5 parameters. I have to pass 5 parameters. Otherwise, those 5 parameters will not be in doctor class, doctor object. Suppose if I am not passing these 5 will not be in doctor objects. Even superclass is also like that only, na? Superclass also. Suppose maybe yesterday I think it will be there or not. Or previous example. See, this super method is there, na? Here we can say example. See here, I am calling the employee object, right? Right?
Yes.
In the employee object, how many parameters I have to pass? Even though this employee object is having e number and e salary, I have to pass four other parameters because I am using this superclass person as a superclass. Those parameters I have to set, right? Simply I am using person.init method to initialize those variables, right? But to send me the values, I have to first forward this to person init method, right? Understood?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
you forgot this concept. You forgot, I think. So even though I am initializing these two only in the employee class, but otherwise the repeating will be, suppose I am doing like this. Code reusability will not be there when I am using. So I am putting the self not name self dot date here only. I am initializing from here without super. This is not code reusability, right? If I am setting those name and age attribute from here in the employee class, there is no need of person class, right? For me.
Yes.
Instead of that, I am not setting those two because I have already those attributes initialized by using person class. So I have to call using the either the super method or class name to initialize those two parameters. But I have to pass the values, right? I have to pass the values means in the derived class, in the child class, first I have to pass those parameters. Then only I can call the super or person, right? Before passing these two, I cannot call this super method.
Okay, got it.
Right? So it is not
Yes.
repeating. It is only we are using the super class to initialize the variables. Here also, in our example, this is not repeating the code. We are only using, instead of super or instead of class name, we are using the method name here. Understood?
Yes.
The initialization part will be handled by the parent class only, not the child class. Anywhere. That is the code reusability. So in this, the one more thing I want to highlight is, here I am getting only two data, right? I have to get the remaining data from the details class, right?
Yes.
I hope you understood the concept. Why we are repeatedly sending so many parameters, even though I'm initializing only two parameters here, because we are passing on those parameters to the parent class. Here also I have to get the employee object has no attribute details ID. self id equal to id, correct? Name, gender, employee object has no attribute, details id.
Employee detail.
What is that line number? Can you trace this details id?
Uh, Details ID. Details ID is in details class.
I am setting id, name and gender using the setter method, and then getting the id, name and gender using self.id, self.name, correct only, self.gender. There is no problem in this, I think. Next, init method, company and department. I'm calling set data method, self.company, company dpt, id, name, gender. Self.getData, self.company, self.department. That is also right only. Doctor, hospital and department are the attributes here. Hospital and department I am putting on here. id, name and gender I am calling on the self.setData method, self.getData. Could not trace the error actually here. Attribute error, employee object has no attribute, details id. id we are only having here only, right?
Yeah, only in details in the beginning. Yeah, this one.
uid.
There is a comma there after self here.
Where?
Just now you
Here.
set employee.
Set
Yeah.
employee. Self.
There is a comma after self. Right there, where your cursor is.
Comma should be there, na? Here you are telling me.
Okay. Okay.
Comma should be there, na?
Yeah, I thought something else. Okay.
Maybe ID I should not use. ID I can use. Okay, anyway, I have changed the ID. Anyway, you found out.
There is one in the beginning.
Okay. Underscores, I have not made any mistake, right? Okay, anyway, we'll see. Details, ID.
I think there is only one underscore it is showing where, see, I think there is something missing. 2 underscore is missing. Only 1 underscore it is. Let's see.
Here also there are 2 underscores. Self-dot. Okay, anyway, that is. It is a problem with ID only, right? Wherever ID is there, I've changed it. I thought of taking this example because we will know about the private variables also, how to set them. Somewhere some mistake is there, I could not trace. You understood the flow of data right here? How I am setting?
Yes.
So what happens here is I am calling the employee object here, and then I am not calling the init method because these are the private methods I will not be able to access from outside. I am not using the init. Okay. So what I am doing here is I am using the set employee method to initialize the variables, right? So inside set employee method, if I go, it is also an instance method, right? So instance method first parameter should be self. So remaining 4 or 5 here, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 parameters I am passing on. Out of these 5 parameters, 3 parameters are using the parent class initializing. Okay, then remaining things I am initializing here only. Right, understood?
Yes.
Second thing what I am doing is I am using the get employee method also. Now I cannot call on the variables directly from outside the class. So get employee method will print me the required details. So first 3 parameters attributes I'm calling the get data method of the parent class. This is the get data method of the parent class. So these 3 attributes will be printed for me. Okay, then balance to whatever I have initialized here in this company and department will get printed. Okay, so I am able to call the superclass method from here. Similarly, doctor object also, whatever the properties attributes I am inheriting, I am allowing the parent class only to initialize those attributes. Like here, UID, name and gender. Hospital and department I am initializing in the doctor object itself. Okay, same thing, get output also I cannot access directly since there are private members. I am using the self.getData. That means I am using the getData method of a details class, and then remaining details I am getting here itself directly because these attributes are there within the doctor class itself. So this is the hierarchical inheritance example where we have 2 child classes derived from only 1 parent class, right? What is the error? I will find out later and we'll tell you in the next session. Okay, we'll
Okay.
move forward to other class. Meanwhile, you can also try at home if you have any.
Yeah.
Next class,
I need to update the things which you did before.
you can send me email if you found out. Okay.
No, I mean, I have to first up. I have to update. You didn't send me the latest one, right? So you changed few things. I have to update that first.
No, after the class, I will send the codes, right? So at that
Okay.
you can see and check later. Next, what is the thing we have to discuss now here? Hybrid, right?
Yes.
You understood the concept of private members, right? How to declare a private variable attributes. Even private method also we can use a double underscore before. Suppose there is one get method is there. No? Suppose if I put like this with double underscore, that is a private method. This method cannot be accessed from outside. We don't have a private public like keywords we don't have in Python like in Java or C++ public private. We have to use the double underscores only before the method name or the attribute name to call it as a private or if no underscore is there means then it is a public, anyone can access from outside the class also. I'm checking whether any problem is there here or not. What is a hybrid inheritance? Combination of
I
you found out, huh?
I think so. There is a function name you have given as. I'm not sure that is the problem. The function name, second function name, cell data. It is set data.
Okay, it is set data, right? Any mistakes like that are there?
Here also, yeah, set employee.
Set. Set, right? Set I've changed, right? Set
Yes.
anywhere any mistakes are there? Set here also set I've changed. Set only, right? This one. Get set get should work. Spacing all. E dot get employee. Self dot get data. At line number 51, e dot get employee.
After dot, there should be a space between two underscores and dot. If there is,
No, normally it will not be, but anyway, I will check that one.
yeah, here, yeah, there is.
Where it is print id equal to at line number 13.
13.
This now only I have changed. So I thought any mistakes. Line number 13, right? Next error. E dot get employee. Oh, that is a mistake, right? I think. No. E dot get employee method is there.
Let's try and see whether the
This one.
error changes.
No, those 3 errors are still there, no?
No, still there, same errors.
Get employee. Employee has a get employee spelling correct only, right? Get employee. Copy.
Get employee is calling get data. I think again from get data there is a problem.
Here,
Yeah, second issue. Second.
get data. So get data, how we are defined, we have to see. Whether capital letter only. Get data correctly we are defined, right? Total 4 errors, right? 4 errors, huh?
One, 3 are
4.
one
One we have corrected.
attribute.
Total 3 now, correct? No, still it is showing, right? Self dot.
Yes.
So spacing is not a problem. Anyway, that I will check once again after this class. Huh?
Okay.
One final time I will check. E dot get employee. From here error is getting started. First object
Yeah.
has
Then
been and e dot get employee only. This problem is.
so e dot get employee is calling get data.
E dot get employee. Here it is correct only, correct? I am using the object reference of employee. The method is get employee method, right? So I am calling get employee
Yes.
method of employee. See here get employee method of employee. I don't need to pass because anything it is an instant method, so one only argument will be there. So here suppose if I change this, whether the output will change. So output is changing up to here.
These two, company and department, are displaying. After that, again, there
Company
is a
department object is displaying, but the values are not displaying, right?
Yes.
company equal to this is I'm calling the super method, right? Can I call the super method using self keyword?
Yes.
Or can I put like this? Anyway, I can call, there is no problem because those method is available inside here. Because I'm inheriting the property means that instance method in inside my employee class, right?
Yes.
So I can use that one self. Okay, this error what is there I will check once again. In the next class I will tell you. Otherwise you have found out, I will resend the file to you immediately over mail. Okay.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
So now we are discussing the hybrid inheritance, right? It is a combination of multi-level and multiple inheritance. We have so many levels. At the same time, we have multiple inheritances, like two parents, one child class, like that. Combination is called hybrid. Okay, we have one parent class here. I will take a simple example only. M1 method. Child 1, which is a derived from parent class. This is M2 method we can call. So this is child 2, which is a derived from parent. So we have two child now, which are derived one from parent. So it is a hierarchical, right? As of now, it is hierarchical. Hierarchical. So we should have multiple also, right? See, one child is derived from two parent classes. So this is a multiple. As it is a combination of multi-level and multiple, it is called hybrid. So we can call this method as M4. This is M3. I'm creating the object child 3, child 3. This is child 2, right? This is child 3. Child 3 object. Then I'm calling on the method 1 from the child 3 object. Child 3 object we have method 1. No, right? But it is inheriting the method from the parent class here. So let us see. Save it. What is the error? Indentation. Huh?
Cannot create a consistent resolution.
So it is not able to give me the MRO for this. For basis parent comma child.
Child 1 is parent, child 2 is parent.
Child 2. Child 3. It is coming from child 2. There will be some cases. What happened?
No, you're calling M1. Okay.
There will be some cases here in Python where it will also not able to solve the MRO. So in that case it will give out error, but why it is giving error in this case I don't know. I will have to check.
Do you want to do it M1 or M4?
No, M4 I can directly call anyway. You see,
Okay.
it is direct object only, no? Unless it resolves this MRO, it will not process. Okay, any combination we can take for the multiple. That means I should have two parents. Child 1 comma child 2 I can take.
Yes.
This will be a multiple, right? Object dot M1 only I am talking. Whether it resolves now. Okay, now we got the output, right? So there are some typical cases in Python where it will not be able to resolve MRO issues. Even that is there in 3. Latest version also, 3.8 also. So wherever it will not resolving in Java, that's why in Java and C we will not have this multiple inheritance because of these issues only. Okay, we will not have multiple inheritance in Java and C++, but here Python we have this multiple inheritance where there is an MRO resolution is there. Wherever it will not be able to resolve that issue, so two same classes are there in the priority, it will not be able to resolve means it will give out the error only. So we have to see while coding itself what may be the clashes will be there. Okay, in this case our clash is with parent. So this is the example for hybrid inheritance. Now we will see the superclass method. Okay.
Okay.
Super method we have seen in our examples, but we are not discussed, right? Super method. What is super method in detail?
Yes.
Cyclic inheritance is there, but it is not available in Python. Cyclic inheritance means suppose I have class A, it is a derived from class B, right? And suppose there is one class B, it is in turn is derived from A. So this is cyclic inheritance. But there is not much use, right, with this type of inheritance. Anyway, whatever the properties are available in B, using one single statement I can get. I don't need to use the cyclic, right? Anyway, same properties are repeating again in class B also, right? You understand?
Yes.
Cyclic. This is called cyclic, where A is derived from B and B is deriving from A. So this is the example for cyclic, but we will not use those. It is not useful at all, because anyway we are, once this in this single statement itself we are getting all the properties from B, right? Attributes and methods from B. There is no need again B has to get all the methods from A. Correct?
Yes.
So anyway, Python will not allow this one cyclic inheritance. It will give out the error we use also. Like print, it is a built-in function to call the superclass. Superclass means parent class. Constructors, methods, variables, child class. Till now what we have done, we have used the super method inside the constructors only, right? To call the constructors of the parent class, right, from the child class.
Yes.
But we can use the super method to call the parent class methods and variables also from the child class. Okay, so here A equal to 10 is the class variable, right?
Yes.
Here there is a child class which is derived from P, right? So we are seeing the example of super. So this is an instant method M1 in the child class, which is trying to access the attribute of class in P,
Parent class.
parent class. So how to do it? We have already seen, right? From outside a
Yes.
class, how to access the variables, class variables. Either I can use the class
Either you can use
class
class name.
or I can use the instance. That means object reference, right?
Yes.
So here what I have to use, either I can use p dot a, either I use
Yes.
p dot a, or I have to use, because there is no instance, I cannot use the p
Yes.
object reference. So I have to use compulsory super dot a.
Super.
Second, self dot b, whether it is valid, you can call,
Yes.
or I have to call like this, super dot b. How to call
No.
a instance variable from outside a class? Either I have
Yes.
to use the object reference, right? Either I have to object reference, or within a class I have to call the reference.
Using self.
Correct? Huh?
Yes.
So I cannot access the instance variables using the super method, because this is an instance variable. I have to only call by using the self keyword only. That means object reference should be there. There should be an object. I cannot directly call super method. Okay. So it will give out the
Got it.
error here in this case. Save the file. C1. M1 method, right? See, I could able to access the class variable, right? That printed, okay? And then using
Yes.
self keyword, I could able to use the instant variable also. But object has no attribute b. That means super method cannot be used to call the instance variables. Instance variable only can be called by using object reference or self keyword only if it is inside a class. So that is the case one. What is case one? Super method cannot be used to call the
Instant.
instance variables of super class. From chain. Must use self keyword only. But class variables we can access now. Can access
Yes.
class variables of parent class super method. So in how many ways I can access class variables? Either I can use the super method to call the parent class, or I have to use the class name itself directly. Suppose here I have to use p dot a also, that's not a problem. Okay. See, p dot a also output gets printed. Okay. Either I can use p dot a or super, or if instance of object is there, suppose I can use c1 here. Can I use c1?
No. No.
No, I can use C1 object instance is there, no? If instance is there, I can access the class variables using. In how many ways I can access class variables? Either I have to.
Yes, but you have used it inside M1 function. Instance variable is created later.
I have what is meant by inheritance? I have all the attributes and names of the parent class, right? That means here I have a equal to 10 already by default, right? Understood?
Yes.
So a equal to 10, I am calling the instance C1, right? Understood?
Yes.
If suppose
Yes.
the init method is also there for me. Suppose there is any one init method here, I could not even access that b variable because it will not call this constructor. Yesterday we have seen that example, right? Where
Yes.
variable will not be. Suppose if I define my init method here, inside this one, it will call this init method. Now there is no init method. It is calling this init method of parent class, right? That's why I am able to print the b variable attribute. Otherwise, I will not get the access to the b variable because it is an instant method, right? Suppose I put this inside this one. Suppose it is like this. Suppose self.c, third variable. I have my own init method inside class C. Whether I will be able to access b variable here, even when I am using self keyword, self.b. Just check flow of the data here. When I am creating C1 object, C object here, automatically virtual machine will call this init method, right?
Yes.
Inside init method, I have what variables? C only.
Yes.
But b variable, even though I have access to b variable, that init method, it is inside init method which I am not accessing now. So let us see.
Right.
See, now self.b also not printed, right? Because this init method is not called, because there is one init method. If I have to call that one, I have to use super keyword, right? Super dot
Yes.
or p dot init method, like that we have seen, right? Suppose
Yes.
super method or dot init, right? Super method dot init means whether a b variable will be accessed or no.
Yes.
What happened? Any mistake is there here? Oh, init has double, no? I think this type of mistake only I would have done earlier also, maybe. I don't know. See, 10 and 20 I can access now. B variable now I can access, right? If without this super method, I will not be able to access this B variable, right? Understood the concept, right? With each,
Yes.
if you forgot one step, then we will not be able to access B variable. Even if we access the B variable, if you use the super dot B, you cannot access, right? Only self reference only we have to use. Super keyword cannot be used to get the access of the parent class instance variables, right? Parent class instance variables
Yes.
we should always call by using self only, because it is dependent always on the object creation. If there is no object, why it is not allowed? First of all, you think, because if there is no object, if you are using super.b, where it will work? There is no variable, right? There is no instance variable b, right? Without the object creation, like this. Okay,
Yes.
by default what they have put the mechanism inside is only it can be accessed by using self or by using the object reference c1 dot. So that will limit the programmers to access the variable b even before the object creation, right? But class variables can be accessed even before the object creation, right? So we can use the super method also. That's why super method can be allowed to access the instance methods or class methods or class variables. Except instance variables, we can use super method to call any parent class member. That is the case one. Okay, you understood this case one? So
Yes.
be careful while using the init method or not. Here I have not used the init method in my example, so there is no need of directly it will call the parent class init method, if because by default it will try to access the parent class init method. So on the creation of object, it will see whether it init method is there or not. So init method is there in superclass, so b variable also get initialized. A variable already it is available. I can call this variable using super method, right? That is by motive of this example, right? But I will not be able
Yes.
to call the instance variable using the super method. 10 and 20, right? So b cannot be called on super. Let's save this file. Suppose there is class b. Self get class method means I am declaring the class method from now. So it is in M2. Class method first parameter is CLS variable, right? Class variable, right? So it is searching for the CLS variable. Print parent class method of parent. Get static method. Find v3. Parent static method. Class C, which is inheriting from P. I can do like this. Super of init method. Inside the child class, I can call the init method of super, right?
Yes.
I hope it is online. This is a instance method M1 of child class. Whether I can call from all the superclass constructors or M1, M2, M3 methods. That means class. This is a class. This is a static method. M3 is a static method. Can I call from this same methods inside instance method of child?
Yes.
C dot M1. So at this instant, this init method will be called automatically, right? At the creation of object C. Now I am calling C dot M1. That means I am calling this one. If I am not allowed to do the superclass to access the superclass methods or init methods from the instance variable, instance method, it will give out the error. If I am able to access those members from the child class instance method, means it will print out all these things. Let us see. Link issues. See, I got the output. Means what is it telling this example? What is the output of this example? I can
You can access.
parent class init method or instance method or class method or static method inside the init method or instance method of child class, right?
Yes.
All the methods of parent class can be accessed from inside the instance methods of child. From child class, constructor and or okay, and instance methods, we can call the parent class constructor. What we are called constructor also called, instance method also we are called, class methods also we are called, static method also we are called, using super method. Only as of now, what is the thing that is not able to process using super method? Instance variables only, correct?
Yes.
Except instance variable, we can call child class variable local and all the methods of the parent class using the super method. Okay.
Yes.
So these are the two cases. There is case 3 also. From child class. using super method, but we can child class method we can call the parent class What does it mean? As of now, what we have tried from the constructor of child class or from instance method of child class, we have tried to access the all the methods of parent, right? Understood?
Yes.
So this is a instance method of child, right? From the instance method of child, we are able to call all the methods of parent class. Suppose if it is
Yes.
not an instance method, if it is a class method, suppose CLS class method, first thing is CLS, right? Suppose this is a class method where I will be able to access these two methods.
No.
So that is the case 3. From the child class method, we cannot access the parent class instance methods and constructors using super method. But M2 and M3 can access. M2 and M3, what are the things? Those are the
A class method and
static
static method.
Let us try. I'm not changing anything, I think. See, I could only access the. I will close this one. It will give confusion. Now confusion will not be there. Okay. What are the things I am not able to access? M1 method,
Parent constructor.
super init method, right?
Yes.
Suppose I have to remove these two. I have comment out these two. Whether I will be able to access?
Yes.
Correct? On creation of this
Yes.
method, since there is no constructor, it is calling this constructor. Okay. Now what is doing? It is accessing class method of parent and parent static method, right?
Yes.
So I cannot access a parent class instance methods from the child class method. That is the point of this case. Understood? There is one more case, final case. Okay. There is a static method also, right? Child class. In the child class static method, we are not allow super method. Super method. Okay, that is the case 4. So static method. Suppose there is a static method inside this one. I will save as class control X. Okay, last two will be errors, right? In previous case, case 3. These two will be errors. We cannot access the instance methods from the class method, right? I will save it as
Yes.
class case 3. Suppose this is a static. Whether I will be able to use super method? Whether Python will allow me to use super method? No.
No.
So it should give the error to us. So it only at the time of object construction, it has, because since there is no init method inside child class, it has called this child class parent class init method, right? That is a flow, right? So
Yes.
what is inside init method of parent class? It is a parent constructor. Next, what will happen? It will call the, we have used c.m1. c.m1 means there is a super of everything. Super method we have used, but super method cannot
Yes.
use. That's why it has given out an error to us. So this is the case 4. So from static methods we will not be allowed super method, and from class method of child we will be able to call only class method and static methods, but not the instance method. Case 2 is from instance methods we can call all the methods, right? Case 1, instance variables we will not be able to call using super method, right? So these are the only 4 cases we have to look out for when using the super method. So I will save it as case 4. Save as case 4. So one hierarchy, what is the problem with us? Then only one file name, hierarchical, right? What errors we are getting earlier in one file? It is an hierarchical, right? Or hybrid
Yes.
hierarchical.
Hierarchy.
This file I will check, and what is the error here? I will check once again. If I found out, I will send an email to you.
Okay.
I will discuss in the next session what is the error with this. Okay. So in our next session,
Can send this.
I will send this code, and daily you are receiving my mail, right?
Yeah. Now
Okay, I will send this.
I received that, but you did some correction later, so I want the latest copy.
Whatever the files, daily I am sending one mail to you. Are you able to receive that mail?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. So I will send this entire codes, and then notes to you today also. You can check
Okay.
when you're free. You can check that error. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
In the next session, we'll see the polymorphism concept, right?
Okay.
If you have any doubts, you can mail me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are closing this session now. Okay. Bye.